All right, what's up, Nick? We are live. What's going on, YouTube? I'm Rob,
And this is Nick, and we are Coffee and Crypto.
and we are here for a Sunday weekly update for you. We're going to go over the past week, what happened in the crypto markets, and then give you our predictions going forward for next week and the next month on the short term. So let's jump into it. But first, we wanted to mention we have a free beginner's guide to investing into crypto. You can find that in the description link. That is our free guide teaching you everything you know how to get started and how to start making money in crypto. And we also have our complete course on crypto, which is called the Ultimate Guide to Crypto Investing. That's going to teach you everything from A to Z. It's a step-by-step blueprint on how to make serious money in crypto. That's exactly the same strategies and tactics Nick used to accumulate multiple seven figures in profits from his small investments into crypto. Exactly how he did it, what the strategies were, and all the tactics and mindset and everything behind that. So with that said, Nick, where are we right now with the Bitcoin price? What's the current price we have?
Looking at six. Let me share my screen real quick, and we're 16,400. Can you see me?
Loading. All right, I see you there.
All right. So I had it zoomed out a lot because I was trying to see.
So why don't we recap the past week, and then you let me know if you see anything specific on the charts that stand out, or if we're just kind of trending the same direction.
Okay, let's recap the last week. I got to zoom in to do that, so give me a second. I mean, this is pretty much like watching paint dry here the last week. I mean, it was a low volume week because it was Thanksgiving. A lot of the traditional markets were closed on Thursday, and then they closed early on Friday. So the last several days has just been kind of like nothing has been happening. I mean, look at this price action. We've been hanging around 16,500 all day, every day, and we're still there.
I noticed the past week was very low volume.
So it's like not much. There's not really much to say. That's why I was zooming out to see like where we are relative to history. Here's the big run up in the end of 2017, and we peaked out. And as I was saying before, this was holding us as support. We were bouncing off of this all-time high until the FTX saga started happening a couple weeks ago, and you see that we definitely closed a weekly candle very far below the support, and we're kind of just hanging out down here. Looks like we might be bear flagging, and if we zoom out and get the whole volume profile, you can see that there's not much volume traded in this 12,000 to 16,000 range. So that means that it could easily have a capitulation spike down here, down to these highs of 2019. So it's kind of up in the air what's going to happen right now. I'm a little more bearish now than I ever have been, or you might have heard me on the channel, but I do think before this is all said and done, we're going to come down here and touch this 12,000, and it might just happen for an hour. You may be sleeping when this wick happens, and then we start a new bull market, or we could even retrace a little bit before heading back down there. We could come up and test this resistance up here around 19,000 before curling over and heading down to 12,000. Anything can happen in these markets. Those are kind of like the main supports and resistances right now. I can see for Bitcoin is right around 18,600 as a resistance, with a lot of volume traded up in that area, and then down here around 12,000. What is that? Yeah, right around 12,000.
Yeah, those are some good points. It's not off the table that we could go down there. I think it's likely. There's no way of predicting, but there's a lot of macro factors that are still against us. But also, like you said, we could retest 19, 20,000 and then curl over from there. So that's also another scenario. But either way, if you're a long-term investor, if you buy now or at 12 or 18,000, it's not really going to matter if you're long-term focused. This is
dollar
really,
cost average while you're down here, because you never know what's going to happen. I could be completely wrong, and hedge fund, like there's news that comes out next week that hedge funds and big players start buying up the market, and we shoot up to 30,000. I mean, that's why it's always good to dollar cost average and get your buys in over
yeah.
time.
It's more relevant if you're looking to do shorter term trading, so day trading or shorter term swing trades. Then the price action in this range is more relevant. But we have gone sideways the past week, which is not, which is actually that can be a good thing if you're a trader, because sometimes trading in a range is actually the best trading. You're just entering low, selling high. So
Trading the volatility.
that's right. So I think that's it for technical analysis.
Yeah, sorry, there's really not much to say that happened the last week. It was a pretty calm week, considering everything that's all the stuff that's going on out there.
Nothing's really changed with the macro. Let's get into some news. So we'll just run through quick headlines. Anything that stands out, we can quickly chat about. Genesis, which is involved with the digital currency group, and they lend out to the exchanges like Gemini and whatnot. And that's how they have their interest programs. It was revealed that they have over 2.8 billion in outstanding loans, so that's pretty significant. And they're going through a tough time right now with their company. They're also subject of probe by regulators, which was just noted. So we'll see what happens with that, because if they unwind, and that could be a big sell-off. NFTs had a little pump this week. I think it was mainly influencer based. They pumped like 20, 30, 40%, depending on the NFT. NFTs aren't really minor Knicks things, but if you are closely dialed into the market and playing to the narratives, you can definitely make some decent money flipping them. But there is a high barrier to entry. Like some of these NFTs, like we were just looking at the Board Ape Yacht Club NFTs before this call, and the cheapest one right now is something like 70 Ethereum. So that's like close to $100,000 for an image, a JPEG. This one was big. BitBoy Crypto is in the Bahamas looking to interview Sam Bankman-Fried. He flew down there because he's just still out and about and hasn't been arrested or hasn't been detained, or nothing's happened. So he figured he would take matters into his own hands and I guess show up at his front door and personally interview him. It's pretty funny. I was on Twitter and I saw a picture. BitBoy Crypto screenshotted his iMessage, and when you text message someone and they have read receipts on, you can see when they read the message.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is actually his phone or he just did this. He's like, I'm just doing this for the content, and just like made up I don't know, had one of his buddies do it. But it was like him messaging Sam Bankman-Fried, and he didn't answer, and he had read receipts on, so it says that he read it. And then he's like, "Come on, Sam, like you have read receipts on, like let's just get to the point, and let's talk. I want to hear your story." And apparently he was like buying him pizzas and sending them to him. And I don't know, just doing all sorts of crazy stuff down there. But apparently at one point he got escorted out by the I don't know if it was like FTX security or Bohemian security. So just kind of a funny thing going on down there.
I heard someone on Twitter call him the Alex Jones of crypto.
Yeah, he was on InfoWars, Alex Jones, like a couple weeks ago, actually talking about the whole FTX unwind.
Oh, nice.
He was saying some crazy stuff this past week. Like he's been going real wild on Twitter. I saw him. He was flooding Solana big time, like saying some serious allegations on Solana and FTX and the manipulation behind that. Then he goes to the Bahamas, and then on top of that, he's in a tweet war with Kevin O'Leary. And I just read a tweet before this that was like, I don't know, it's really out there to be getting into a tweet war with Kevin O'Leary like this. But they were going exchange for exchange. And I think BitBoy Crypto is calling out Kevin O'Leary over his involvement with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Apparently, he suspects that Kevin O'Leary was involved with FTX, Alameda Research, and them liquidating or liquidating liquidating hunting. How do you pronounce that? Stuff.
Liquidity hunting?
Basically, they were looking to liquidate. I think it was 3 Hours Capital or Celsius or Luna or
Like intentionally manipulating the price so someone gets liquidated.
Yeah, so they were doing that, and he's saying Kevin O'Leary was involved in it. So then they go back and forth, and the last one I read, Kevin O'Leary was like, "Why don't you come to my house? I'll let you take out my garbage, and I'll even pay you for it." He's like, "I invest in entrepreneurs." He's like, "It could be your first real business." And he's like, and he said something like, like low life or no life or something like that. And then Bitboy Crypto responds, he's like, "At least I didn't take 2 lives." And then he goes into this tweet explaining how I don't know if any of this is true, but he says he's claiming that Kevin O'Leary got in like a boating accident and like killed 2 people and covered it up and like blamed it on his wife or something. And this is all going on Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone's seeing it. It's like just absolutely ridiculous. But that was some crypto drama. Anyone who's watching this knows who Kevin O'Leary is. So I'm sure they'll find this entertaining. On top of that, as far as other news, the Senate committee hearing is this coming week on FTX. The Bahamian Attorney General is going to address the nation on FTX. When it says the nation, I'm just assuming they're addressing the Bahamas, not the U.S.
Yeah.
Sam Bankman-Fried is supposedly speaking at a book deal with a book deal summit. A deal book summit at the New York Times this coming week. And
I don't think he's going to show up.
no, apparently he is. And then Jump Crypto, Aptos Labs, and Binance commit to a $1 billion recovery fund for crypto companies. So
that is the news.
That's bullish. $1 billion recovery fund. I mean, $1 billion is a lot of money, but in like the grand scheme of things, in a financial market, $1 billion is not a lot of money. So, like what is that?
In terms of driving up price, it could do a lot, honestly.
I don't know if that would drive up the price, but I'm saying, like if they're bailing out certain companies, if these companies are, in trouble, how many hundreds of millions of dollars that's going to save, like, how many companies? 1, 2, 3, 4 companies. So when you look at it from that perspective, on like a big business level, $1 billion is not really that much money.
Yeah, but it could, like, I'm just saying, if it just got the price of Bitcoin to break above its resistance around 19, 20,000 and prices of crypto and altcoins start recovering, just the fact that like that news started, it's kind of like planting the seed, and nothing changes sentiment like price. I heard someone say the other day. And if the entire sentiment in the market changes, that $1 billion could have a larger effect on the market than just the $1 billion is kind of where I'm going with that logic.
Yeah, it could. There's a couple of different ways to look at it. So we'll see. That's definitely a relevant news point, So that's bullish, but it's also bearish with the whole Genesis thing. And then on the last piece of news, Dogecoin had a big pump this weekend. I think it's because Elon Musk tweeted about Twitter and like their new roadmap and everything they're rolling out. And he has, he's talking about all these upgraded features, and you can do video and encrypted direct messaging and, all these new features. And then I don't know if there was a rumor or just speculation, but the speculation has been that he's going to somehow integrate crypto with Twitter, and Dogecoin would be one of the cryptos he would integrate. So I think there's some speculation on that because he released his roadmap and all the upgrades he was looking to include in Twitter. So that drove the price of Dogecoin up like 20%, overnight.
The market cap of Dogecoin does not make sense to me, but that's just me. I mean, relative to its like actual utility at the moment.
It's
But
a meme coin.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like, but I guess if people are betting that it will be utilized by Twitter, and Elon Musk definitely has the
I
power.
don't think anyone actually thinks it will be used by Twitter. I think people are just trading that narrative.
They're
Like,
just
oh,
trade.
like,
It's like a
yeah,
casino.
yeah, it's like, oh, this is like logical, so we're gonna trade it like it could happen. But I don't think anyone actually thinks, you're gonna transact with Dogecoin on Twitter. Like that just sounds so unrealistic. Like, what are you gonna do with Dogecoin? Like, why would I send you Dogecoin on Twitter?
Uh, Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, people just love to trade the volatility. It's a good coin to trade volatility. I wouldn't Not a coin I would hold for the long term. I have been trading it the past couple of days since it pumped, just the volatility up and down. So it's good for that. Otherwise, I don't see any long term use for it. But outside of that, why don't we get into our predictions for the next week, and I guess to close out the new year or this year. But before we dive into the predictions and wrap it up, why don't we just mention our beginner's guide and course again? So, Nick, why don't you tell them about our beginner's guide in the description link, and then our course?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we've got a free beginner's guide to crypto that we've created. It's completely free. All you got to do is click on the link that is in the description of this video, and we will go ahead and send you that guide. Rob and I have also created the ultimate guide to crypto investing that is for anyone from beginners, intermediate, or even experts. You can pick up some of the mindset that I used in the last several years investing in crypto, and kind of give you the tools that I have learned, and I share them with you, and it'll teach you everything that I did to become a crypto multimillionaire.
Yeah, so the beginner's guide is really if you have no idea about crypto, no idea where to get started, you want basically like a brief intro on uh, crypto and how to get started, and the different ways of making money.
Yeah,
The
both of
ultimate guide
Oh, go ahead.
the ultimate guide, which is our course, which is a paid product. It's not overly expensive. Anyone can afford it, especially if you're looking to make thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto. The price that it's at now, $97, is not a lot at all, and that's going to be going up soon. But that is specifically the strategies and tactics Nick used to make multiple seven figures of profits from investing in crypto, and he did that by not buying Bitcoin or Ethereum. So that's really the whole thing. We go into detail of the strategies and tactics he used to generate multiple seven figures by getting into lesser known next gen cryptos, not Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is what everyone leads you to believe.
That's
Anyway, check
true.
those out in the description link. And let's get into our predictions. Nick, why don't you just bring up the chart one last time? We'll just give our predictions.
All right, let's do this. I mean, I kind of talked about this before, where I'm seeing this support down here at 12,000 and the resistance up at around 19,000. So I think there's typically a Santa rally that happens in crypto that everyone like. It happens almost every year. So I could see us ending the year up around this resistance around 18, 19,000, which is decent size move, 10 to 15% higher from here in a month. That's kind of where I see us. What happens after that really depends on the news and the narratives that are going to be in place in about a month from now. How about you, Rob?
Um, it's tough to say because this was such a low volume week, and then like from here on out, everyone starts to wind down for the year. So I'm unsure if it's going to continue to be low volume, but typically with low volume, you can see the bigger price swings because it is low volume. So I think we just trade sideways in this range unless something significant happens, like another liquidation with, like Genesis or something bigger on the macro, like, some report, inflation, some new data point.
There's just so much FUD out there right now. Like the counter-intuitive person in me says, with 99% FUD on Twitter, you'd think we should see a bounce.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, we did bounce a little bit uh, from the blowout wick from FTX.
yeah, you can barely see it on this chart. This is the blowout wick you talk about. We bounced a little bit, yeah. So
Yeah, but there's nothing, as far as my predictions, there's nothing convincing me that we're immediately heading down lower within the next week, unless some trigger news event happens. But there's also nothing convincingly strong that we would trend upwards right now, just given the whole macro outlook. So my prediction is we trade sideways until we get more data, whether that's like inflation, any significant news. Otherwise, I think we chop sideways for now.
but I mean, I've been in this market for so many years. I was actually in this market before this, even the data on this chart was here. This chart only goes back to 2018. I've been in the market since 2013. So if I have kind of like an emotional log of how I felt in certain times of the market. If I had to take a pick of where I thought we were based on how I'm feeling right now, and I feel pretty bad right now, actually, it feels like we're very close to a bottom in terms of the bottom of a bear market. So this feels very similar to how I was feeling right here in around November, December of 2019. This was after Bitcoin had fallen from 20,000 down to what, 6, 7,000. And then we got like a little bit of run up before the C19 crash. So I also felt about the same down here as well. So are we here or are we here? So that's kind of like, if I had to put two places where I think we could be right now, it's either at the bottom or very close to it. Like that's just how I feel right now, based on like my personal like emotional experience within this market over the last almost 10 years.
Nick's getting all emotional on us now.
That, I mean, that's what these financial markets are. It's all about emotions and how the market is feeling. Okay, let me stop sharing.
Yeah,
Go
but
back.
but if you are looking to trade on a shorter term basis, little things like an Elon Musk tweet or NFTs pumping or some news can cause these short term rallies where you can capitalize on. We talk about more of that those tactics in our course. So
Yeah,
that's if you're looking to make money on a shorter term time frame. Otherwise,
and I do want to talk about like the bots, but maybe I don't think we have time in this video. But I have been using trading bots recently, and maybe we'll do a YouTube video on that later this week, or could add it to the course. Honestly, that's a pretty powerful tool, using trading bots, because it takes the emotion out of the trading, and there's some really cool things that you can do with them.
yeah, that's something I'm interested to learn more about. And I know I've been saying, let me get my buddy Ryan on here to talk about bots and how you can use bots specifically to trade volatility. So
Hmm.
definitely seems like a powerful tool. I know there's some people out there that are really using them to maximize trading volatility and making profits. So it's definitely an interesting thing I want to learn more about. We can cover that in the next one, though, Nick. Why don't we wrap it up here?
Sounds good. And, one final thing: anything we speak in here is not financial advice. Do your own research before investing your hard-earned money in crypto, and we will catch you all next time.
All right. See you guys later. All right. Here we go. Gotta end this now.
Here, it says you're still recording.
Now we're ending.